Everyone, welcome back to YAHWEH'S Perspective. I don't know why I'm so serious. Why would you like this? Please, welcome boys and girls. Welcome young men and women, gentlemen. What do you call them? So when you say gentlemen, what do you refer to ladies as?
Ladies, no. Ladies
Just
and
ladies.
Ladies and gentlemen.
They don't say like gentle ladies or something.
Boys
Wow.
and girls.
Harsh ladies name.
Okay, so today we're here with some cute people. You guys introduce yourselves, please.
Ladies.
It says ladies first.
Wow.
I don't
I know,
understand.
lady. Hi, everyone. My name is Oyinda.
Yes,
Nice to meet
baby.
you.
I call her Yin Yin.
Yes.
Yin Yin. And
Hi everyone, my name is Mayowa.
that's all.
Mrs. B.
Mr.
I
I like that.
Miss Evie. Period. Yeah.
In brackets.
I'm done, Wala. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. Sure.
Chilling.
Hungry.
Nice
but
weather.
good.
Hungry
Fasting.
for what?
Jesus.
Okay. This was say fasting, hungry. I don't get if I'm about it. But today we're going to be talking about friendship. That's what we're talking about. Female friendships, the dynamics. Why are people laughing? Are you not friends? Wait, let's start off there. Are you guys friends?
Of course.
Am I your friend?
You're my friend.
Are you sure about
yeah.
that?
Are you sure you're friends? The way people are laughing.
No.
It's just a very unserious
Wait,
friendship.
my friend. First,
Mm.
really?
Do you consider Mayowa your friend?
Yeah, I do.
Mayowa, do you consider Oyinda your friends? Yeah,
Yeah.
friends.
Oh,
Let's do
cute.
it. Okay. So I have to ask one question before we start. Like, what is one thing your friend does that is absolutely amazing or hilarious? Like one thing you just consider very hilarious about them.
Oyinda laughs at everything. Like
Honestly,
anything and everything.
I think that's
Is- no matter how serious the conversation is, you can't really be angry for too long. So there was honestly, we've had like very few conversations where she's not in the mood, and I start to feel bad for her. It's almost like, should I start crying with you? Like, 'cause, like, half of the time,
Why are you still laughing? That's the thing. You can't even prove her wrong because you're just laughing.
half of the time she's always laughing, and I'm like,
Where's
what's
this
the joke? But she's always laughing. So I think
But that's
Wow.
the
so
thing.
it's,
Joy of
it's
the
actually
Lord.
hard to stay like
Serious with her.
yeah serious. You can't even sometimes when she's like annoying me, you can't stay serious for too
So
long.
I annoy you. My wife, we never have this conversation. I actually
Yeah.
annoy you.
Excuse me.
Oyinda, what about you? What's one thing that you find really amazing about Mayowa or just hilarious about her?
I'll just have it hilarious, first of all, because my wife is always trying to be a Gen Z. Like, she's always saying,
She's not.
What is
Period.
porn? She's a Gen Z, but like, I don't
She's a
consider a Gen
misplaced
Z.
one.
She's a misplaced one because she's always acting like a millennial.
Please,
And she's always trying.
Mayowa,
I was
do
like,
Gen Z stuff, please. Let's check that
it's
out.
just I say purr. What is that?
Period. No cap. Apparently, I heard that one the other day. I'm like, what?
She said she had it the other day. I saw out of touch with
I'm like, what? What
Yeah,
does that
out of
mean?
touch.
So no cap.
Yeah. Please, let's use these words in the right context.
In the
Okay.
right context,
Let's not
Mayowa.
say no cap.
No cap.
Okay. So first question is how did you guys become friends?
I got a story.
How did you guys don't remember? Just I got a story. How do you guys become friends? I beg.
Our friendship has transcended many mountains and valleys.
Wow. So
It's been
extra.
through a lot. I think our friendship first started from admiration to like mentorship to like friendship.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
actually. Right.
Who was admiring who?
She was obviously like
Wow.
Why?
no cap. Is that the right context?
Yeah.
Get me my certificates. But anyways.
Wait, what?
So you were admiring Mayowa.
Yeah,
Nice.
she
And
was my
then-
president.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know what? I just remember that's what I
RCF.
used to refer it was
My
my
queen.
president.
My queen.
And this was our campus fellowship.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
This was campus fellowship.
fellowship.
And
Then she would just see me randomly and just shout, "Oh, my my queen, from like
I don't know.
my president. You know that for a long time, I don't think she even knew my name. She just used to call. Did you know my name?
Of course, I knew your name now.
Because the
Oh,
only thing I ever
president.
heard her refer to me as was my president, my queen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you know there's somebody that I know that he doesn't really know my name? He refers to me as something else. And then he recently told me that whenever you hear me shouting that, just remember, I'm trying to remember your name. I felt so bad. I was like, what?
Ew.
Wow.
But I think she knew. So that's how it started. And she was always smiling. Like, oh,
Always smiling.
no matter how bad
That's
and
one
how
thing I
long.
like about
Because on
you.
campus,
Aww.
though, I really had like very long days, especially during our stuff. There were so many times I wanted to
Mayowa
quit.
she was always busy, always up to something.
Do you know that's one thing I know about you?
Mayowa
Like,
is
I
always
don't
busy.
think you ever have like your schedule just like, oh, I'm
Like-
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always doing something.
I don't like being.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't really know
I
how
do
to
mind
do
this
it.
devil's workshop.
That's
That's what
the
they
honest
they
truth.
say.
I don't know how
Okay,
to
so that's
do
how
it.
you guys became friends.
No,
Mentorship.
and then it transcended to like, oh, okay, we started talking, and then went beyond ourselves. So I think our friendship actually, because there was one time we had that conversation where like we went on a date,
Yeah.
and then we were playing
Aw,
like
girl
this
dates.
game.
Yeah,
that-
friendship game.
Yeah, friendship game actually, right? And we were talking about our own friendship, and we were like, oh, it's true. Like our friendship has actually moved more from like, oh, hello, hi, advice to like friends. Like we're
Yeah.
moved into like, okay, yeah, this is my friend. I will consider Oyinda as my friend. She will
friend.
consider me as a friend. Like we
Yeah.
can call and gist and do random stuff. Now, I don't want to say it's in Yoruba, so I'm gonna keep it inside. But it's something
Okay.
about during my baby. But
Oh wow.
never.
So you now
Now
she's too used. She's too used to you.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Mayowa.
She just
That's
enters
good.
the house.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But it's good. It's good. It's
So at
nice.
what point did you decide that this person was going to be your friend? Like, I know you guys said, oh, the friendship stuff, the friendship questions, but when did you decide for yourself that, you know what, I would like to have this person as a friend? You said,
I think like I don't know. One thing I
or
always
did you decide? Or I mean, some people don't decide. Though. It
I
just
don't
happens.
even know if I think it was just when because I feel like for me to know when to move on, like transition into like different phases when it comes to friendship, I think it starts with like being vulnerable, like being able to like be vulnerable with one another. So I
Yeah.
think like when we had vulnerable conversations, I think, and like I mean, for me to have been vulnerable, like there was like that trust.
Yeah.
And I think like one thing that I've learned also is like, you know, you give a little to see what the person does with a little, right? And then it builds from there.
Yeah.
So I think like just even from RCF, like, oh, when I just reach out to her for advice, you know, I feel like I was building trust, right? So like even after, like I could confidently say like, yes, I trust Mayowa and like we can have like deep conversations. So I think, yeah, just that vulnerability. I was just like, yeah, like this is someone I can. Yeah, I find her as my like safe space. Why not doing a face like that?
rolling my eyes. But anyways, oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
cute. You're
so-
cute.
Oh,
I
gosh.
am
This is me
cute.
trying to do love, but I can't complete it. Anyways,
So do you think you pray for your friends?
yeah,
Do you pray for Oyinda?
yeah.
Oyinda, do you pray for my
Yeah, I do.
Like, I don't want to do, you know, this time some people say that I pray for my friends, just like, God, I pray you bless all my friends. No, do you mention the name? Like, I actually pray that you bless Oyinda.
I think one of the things she said, right, was vulnerable conversations, right? Usually when those conversations happen, you kind of really know what the person is going through.
So you can
So you
pinpoint,
can
yeah.
actually, you know that this person needs someone to stand in. And at that moment, like maybe they're not able to stand in for themselves, right? So you're able to actually pray for them. There is that, there's that trust that this person has left with you, that even though I can't carry myself, I'm so weak, I know that someone is standing in the gap for me, right?
yeah.
And we have a lot of that. And I would say, like, just going back to the former question, for me, I think everyone needs an Oyinda. Like, she's very positive, right? Like, she's full of energy.
energy. Oh my God, you radiant.
Although,
I
right,
know.
I'm shy.
I've seen her. I've seen her in like really like downtime, so I know
Yeah.
Oyinda when she's not smiley,
Yeah.
right? But she's very like full of energy and everything. So it's like no matter, there's a limit to how negative. So it's like, you know how like you spend the day with someone and at the end of the day when you're leaving, you're feeling uplifted, you're feeling refreshed, right? You don't feel drained. So it's like if I have a long day, right, and she says, oh, I'm coming over, right, even though I know that I've had a long day, I know that by the time she leaves that house, I will still feel better. So it's like, oh yeah, just come in whenever you want to come, right?
Wow.
But yeah, that's one of the things I
I want to cry.
Yeah, fake
tissue.
This guy's not
would say. How is he doing you?
Okay.
I'm actually about to break
Let me
down.
give you tissue. Oh, you want buckets?
What is one thing that Oyinda or what one thing that Mayowa has done that you're like, this person is God sent? Because first of all, you believe that most friendships, some friendships are actually God sent. Like God actually orchestrates that friendship for you. Like you meet this person, the way it just makes sense why you're friends with this person. What was one thing that Mayowa has done for you that made you feel like definitely this is God's hand is upon this friendship? Like, yeah.
Wow. I think
Are you being emotional right now?
it's getting deep. Wow. I think like we had like I think some months back or I guess like a month or two ago, we had like a very deep conversation, and I think just before going to her place, like it was in my like it was like I knew like it was something I just wanted to share with her, right? But I didn't know how to share it with her. So like it was just in my mind like how do I say this? How do I say this? And I remember like, you know, praying. And I think that like, because I think like a few hours before she had called me, right? But I think like the conversation then led to like her asking me like, oh yeah, come over and stuff. And I was just like, like I could just feel like God was like pushing me, right, to go to her place. So I was just like, okay, oh God, I beg. So I think just like going to her place, right? And you know, initially everything was cool, like we were talking about different things, and then when it got to like that particular thing, you know, I just felt like it was heavy in my heart, right? But then I felt like the Holy Spirit really helped me to be vulnerable about that particular thing. And like I think it was just, I don't even know how, and it's very interesting because she had read a scripture, like she did a devotion earlier on in the day, and it was in line with what I was going to share, like just like around that thing, right? And then it was just like she was just seeing the manifestation of the scripture, like with me being vulnerable with her, like in that aspect. And you know, she shared it with me like later, right? And I was just like, wow, like just see God. And I felt like after that conversation and everything, like I felt much like lighter, and like I was just really thanking God on my way back. I was just like, God, thank you for really like orchestrating this conversation, because I really battled with it in my mind, right? I really battled with it, but just like seeing how everything went, I'm just like the Holy Spirit lives inside of her. She knows she's
that's great.
yeah,
That's
that was
beautiful.
just like amazing. So yeah,
Well,
I
I don't
love
have
you.
anything to say.
I said I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, sweet.
Is it because we're on, or because we're recording? That's why does she say I love you back?
Yeah, she does. You do? Yeah, she does.
Are you funny?
Sometimes.
Are you questioning it?
I don't know.
Wow. I say I love you even before you tell me you love me.
Well,
Really?
You please.
I actually end almost every call.
Congrats,
with,
true.
Like, oh, bye, love you.
True.
Oh, yeah, what do you have anything to say? What has Oyinda done that made you feel like, oh my God, God sent?
There are a lot of things, but I'll say one that is recent. Oyinda practically moved to my house during my wedding.
Oh,
Like, she followed me. In short, her mom called me. I was just like, no. When I spoke to her mom, like she was just like, "Yeah, going to Mayowa's house." It was like, it was almost. I think one of our friends had to tell me, "Say, Mayowa, what are you doing?" Actually, I think Oyinda is in your house every weekend, right? like
that support.
It was like, oh, I just had to make a call. She had access to everything: my phone, my laptop, all my password, just anything I needed. I knew that I could just
Wow.
leave it, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm grateful for is like friendship, right? Friendship. God has been merciful and has blessed me in that area. But like, yeah, she showed up and showed out. Like it was, I can remember my mom still calls me every time she sees her.
I
She's
miss
just
her.
like, oh, Oyinda. My mom is coming back to Vancouver actually. Why? Because Oyinda is graduating, and then she's just like, oh, I'm just coming. Just tell me the date that Oyinda is graduating. Just those 2 days. I'll be
I miss
there.
her so
Right, but it
Wow.
was like that much. Everyone knew. Like she was
Yeah.
always available. I don't think I ever called and she was just like, oh, sorry, I can't make it today. Can we reschedule? It was almost like she would reschedule what she's doing
Yeah,
to
to make sure
fit,
she comes.
yeah, to fit what I had to do. And it was like, whatever you need in this moment,
Yeah.
right?
And if you know, weddings are stressful. Like when you're planning like a wedding, it's very stressful. So
Tell me
having
about
that
it.
person that you can rely on and just be like, okay, I need help with this, or someone to just even be there, because sometimes you might not really need them to be helping, but you just want
Yeah,
to feel
just-
supported.
Yeah,
I just want to feel like I'm not doing this by myself.
actually, because half of the times that she came over, even though we had like a schedule of, oh, this is what we should work on, half of the time she came over, we ended up not doing anything. It was just like, oh, I had somebody around me and that was enough, right? That was nice.
That was good.
Aw.
Have you guys ever had conflict? Because the way you were saying, like, if I keep your face, have you guys ever
I
had
had a
conflict?
conflict.
I think, have we had?
I don't think so. Maybe
I feel like
maybe like
Or disagreements? Maybe conflict.
Oh,
yeah, I
something
think
we have
like
had
maybe
disagreements.
yeah, we've had disagreements, but I think like because as Maya was saying like initially, right, our friendship has transitioned like mentorship, friendship. So I think like sometimes having to manage that friendship mentorship, like she's correcting me about something, right? So I think like Maya will correct me like, Oyinda, like this is what you're like maybe I don't do something she has told me to do. So I feel like I'm like I now like feel sad about it, right? But I feel like later on, like we talk about it as friends. So that friendship mentorship is
It's a very dicey.
it's a very
ground.
dicey because like she'll tell me and like I listen. I'm like, okay, she's being serious, but it's like later on.
No,
we'll talk
but
about
I think
it.
you're being humble, actually. Like, because you've actually told me, I told you we've moved. Now she drags my baby.
I'm not used to drag like that.
You,
I do
Like
a
that,
little,
but you do drag it.
yeah, I do drag, but not to.
it's okay. No open you. I just respect the fact that we're on the World
So,
Wide Web.
Yeah, you so you guys
But-
have not really had any major.
It's not like
disagreements or-
major conflicts, but like there have been times that we have had like disagreements that it's obviously like okay, right now it does just not lasted like, or we've not had like disagreement that okay for like weeks we're not like.
speaking.
But
in
when you guys have
conversation.
these disagreements, is there anything that like got amplified in terms of like maybe a negative thing in you or a positive thing in you? Like sometimes
Yeah.
how you handle whatever happened, they're like, oh wow, I didn't even know I could handle it that well. Or it was like, I guess I get angry very easily. Because that's one thing that sometimes when I deal with my friends, like when we have disagreements, there are some times where it amplifies maybe a negative thing that I have to work on, or something that's positive, like I have to like I can commend myself for like
I feel like I can
Yeah.
see a picture of something like something that happened like during the I guess season, but
your wedding season.
yeah,
Okay.
right, where it was like she was tired and irritated and just not happy about something, right? And it was like I felt like in that moment I wasn't kind enough, right? Like yeah, we spoke about it, but I just felt like she was just over it. Like she wasn't like I wasn't like the way I handled it. I probably wasn't kind enough, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can remember one one of those instances, and we have arguments in regards to ushering.
Yeah, because you guys serve in the same department.
Yeah,
Yes,
we serve in
we
the same
serve. Oh my
department in
God, my
church.
fellow
So it's like
usher.
if she has to count and I have to count
Yes.
afterwards, there's always one thing we're arguing about, because one, maybe that one might also be because of hunger. But she has been in church for so long and it's like I'm wasting time. And then she's just like, I'm just really over it. She's like, Mayowa, don't like I can't. Or like, as friendly as Oyinda is, right? People see her and people think like she's an open book, but sometimes you have to like press all the
that's one thing I
buttons, all
know.
the codes.
People that smile a lot, I feel like it's a very big clone to like
what's going on.
Even if something might not be hard, like, everything is fine. I can't know you because I feel like the way you're always happy and talking, I feel like I know you. But until you know, you don't know. I don't have to explain that. Until you know the person, you don't know. So it's a very big, good clone. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but okay. Has there been any
I've
time?
had this conversation before,
we have.
Has there been any time whereby this friendship has stretched you in terms of it has required more than you can give? More than no, you can give, but it has stretched you. Like you're just like, for this particular section, no, for this particular requirements that this friendship has, you have to you have to talk about something. Like maybe you're the kind of person that you want me to. I'll give an example. I don't like going to people's houses. I'm not a fan. I will go to your house, but you're not going to expect me to do that all the time. But then I have friends that can sleep over. Like they're very comfortable coming over to sleep, right? But then when they notice that they're the ones always coming, just like, but you never come and then I come like I because it's so uncomfortable for me. If I come like 5 times, that should be something I'm like thankful for. But instead I complain that I come 20, you come 5. You should be coming like kind of thing. Like is as if anytime where your friendship like stretch. You say you know that about me. Oh.
I think we have thought about it.
Yeah, about me not coming. Yeah, I actually I don't know why I don't. I just it's weird.
As this friendship stretched you?
That wedding season was a stretching season.
It's a stretching season. What?
It stretched me. Jesus. It really did.
What's your
It
bridezilla?
really did something to me.
What's your bridezilla?
What's that?
You know those brides that are. This is why you know she's very Gen Z. But you know those brides that are very like. As if just say like you when you see your friend and you see what they are, you're just
aggressive.
like, okay.
No, she was not aggressive.
Was she aggressive or was she like very demanding?
Yeah, I would say sometimes like, Oyin, can you come? I'm like, yeah, Mayowa, I'll come for you.
You're trying to be the supportive friend.
I'll just be the supportive friend. But then
stretching.
I felt like
It was
sometimes like, and I think also me having to like manage school was also hard. But then one thing she always like, Oyin, like, go back to school and like, do your assignments and everything. So she always used to like tell me. But then I think like just sometimes like having to, it stretched me because I feel like I've not been into somebody's house that much in my life. And like, in as much
that is wild because you from your point of view are like, oh my God, I like the fact that you acknowledge that she was doing that.
Yeah.
That, oh my God, thank you for being there. And but to you it's more like, I'm trying to be supportive of my friend, even though it's not the most comfortable thing because she needed that. And not that it just, if you're doing that much and someone just glances over, it's like they don't notice your effort. It can pay no. I think cry.
I can give example of probably what might have stretched. I said it before and I said it in a kind way or a good way that seemed like nice. But like when I said, we'll make plans, then maybe we'll come and it's like, we don't end up really doing anything concrete, right? But on our own end, looking at it from our own side, she has rescheduled something, moved the assignment dates up, or like moved when she would do her assignment, rescheduled a meeting with a friend, all to show up for me. And then it's like, the plan that we had to do, this is the reason why she came. We don't end up doing it. Maybe we end up talking about something. We end up doing something else. Or we just end up like lounging and relaxing.
Interesting.
I'm looking at it like if I were to be the one, because now we now have to make another appointment for another day
Yeah.
to do what we were actually
Actually
meant
supposed
to do.
Yeah.
So
okay.
looking at it from that side, like she was extrally gracious to me, because it's like that's enough is enough to stretch you, because I don't even think this happened once or twice, right?
Yeah.
So it's like doing that, having to reschedule to now come back for the reason she came, so it's kind of like a lot.
Yeah.
So
And you will stretch
thanks
her
for your
too.
love.
Oh,
When
love
it's time
you.
to stretch,
Anything
make
for
sure
you.
to stretch her.
Ha! I will.
You
She's
Rubber
already
band.
rubber band. This guy's not serious.
she's already stretching.
Rubber band.
But yeah, I just wanted to end this by sharing. There was one thing that happened one time when I and my friends, we had to show up for another of our friend in some capacity, and